founder of Hamzei Analytics. He joins the show every Wednesday, bringing his wealth of knowledge on aggressive equity options and index futures trading. Fari, kind of a rough earnings season, huh, so far?
Well, no, rough couple of names, yeah.
Yeah.
AXP we missed. Well, they missed. Period. Hello. AXP missed completely. We had a couple of repairs. We were underestimated. We underestimated the growth in the stock price of Amazon, but who knew they were going to talk about AWS all of a sudden, or separate and report it? And then, of course, it was the same day that Microsoft reported about cloud. Now we got this fiasco called this bunch of kids in San Francisco. They can't even manage a piece of paper called earnings reports. So Twitter. So anyhow, we added to it because Murray had a trade. We had a Murray trade. You know what Murray trades are?
So you're buying it down here.
Hold on.
Well, tell us what a Murray.
Hey,
put
I
words
can
in
see
your
you. You're like you remember Marathon Man? You're coming in with that needle saying, "Is it safe? Is it safe?" Hold on. Hold on one second.
Hold up. Okay, take it. Okay, give us your thoughts.
Hold up.
Well, first of all, Fari.
We had it, as you guys know, we had a Twitter play. We had a Twitter play before. We talked about that. Well, I was on. We found a Murray trade, okay? And, of course, got shut down because when you get to Murray trades, you know what Murray trades are, first of all, or no?
Let us know. Let the listeners know.
What Murray likes to do, Murray's very tight with money, okay? Just the way he was brought up. He's very tight. He had a hard childhood, so he's probably a little bit more careful than the rest of us with money. You know, if you start with $2 million, go to $1 million, that's a different type of lifestyle. Okay, so no, he started small. He built a little fortune. The way he got there was being very careful. One of his signature trades are he wants to get paid getting to a trade. Okay, and he wants to get paid getting out of a trade. He actually get paid twice.
Sounds like me.
Yeah, it sounds. Yeah, of course. Yeah, hello. And if you work on the floor, that's one of your favorites. If you can find it. Well, we got something fairly close. When, of course, on money trades, if I doubt what I see, obviously I jump to another platform just to make sure the prices are correct. Okay. And by the way, later on, I don't know if you guys noticed or not, when all of that started happening with Twitter, the first trigger we had, and I said it on Twitter, I said all bid and asks are suspect for Twitter. The bid asks on the options, I'm sorry, on the option side, went suspect. I mean, all of a sudden, this position we have put on, and market's not even closed yet. You know, they haven't reported, or supposedly not reported. These were worth a lot of money all of a sudden. I'm scratching my head. How could that be possible? I know we put a good trade. That was something unusual. We put a diagonal out, actually, finally. A modified Murray trade. But as I'm looking at it, that was the first trigger. But anyhow, I've learned if you're looking for a Murray trade, if the numbers look a little bit unusual, a little bit too good to be true, you got to dig in. Most likely, there's something else is wrong. So what do we do with that? We go to a higher authority, okay? So I called the Admiral, the fellow who I mentored with for years here. That's one of the reasons I came back to Chicago. 27 years for SIBO, vice chair of a members committee. Back then there was members, but you got seats, not the stock business. And so the membership only. He was a vice chair of that. So I called the Admiral, got him out of the meeting, and said, "Yeah, take a look at this thing. I already have a trade. So it won't. Something that happened with Amazon cannot be repeated because I already have a vertical. This is just really squeezing it." He looked at it. He shut it down. Excuse me. He said, "Hey, this is not going to fly. This is your issue. Let's change it a little bit. Look at this, and this. Work on it. I'm in a meeting. If you have more problems, call me again." And the guy doesn't need charts. You just give him some numbers. In his head, he can do the smiley, okay, or the frown in his head. He does the payoff curve in his head. Very smart cookie. So he gave me the instruction. I looked at it. Trade looked good. We put a few bucks on that. Now, remind you, we had a killer done on ES&NQ. Killer. I mean, I always say that. In the earnings season, you want to play with house money. That is where you made your money.
You always want to play with house money. You always want to play with house money, don't you, Fari?
Jesus. You've already converted. Oh boy. You gotta be hanging out with Mario a lot. All right. Hold on. So we had a killer ES. And we on the way down and up. Why? Ethan. Terminal guidance by Ethan. I mean, it was hitting his numbers. Boom, boom, boom. So as we get in the afternoon, I said, you know what? I'll burn a few bucks. Oh, I'll burn. Let's see. We already have two of them. Now, on GoPro, we couldn't find anything. So we stayed with the GoPro we had. And I don't know what GoPro is doing. At the beginning, that would also went through what we call a courtesy flush that the Cypher would give him. But it looks like, they're up 11%. Very beautiful. Okay. On GoPro, we couldn't find it. And part of our problem was that we had come in post last earning. Therefore, the MIVs we locked up were very low. So the vols we have paid for were so low compared to any entry now with a GoPro. Holy macro! I think it was like 79, if I remember it right. Was the first week MIVs, maybe even higher, maybe 3 digits. I look at that and I said, guys, I think we got plenty on. We've done reasonably well this period. We hit Google. We hit what is it called? We missed on Amazon, but we on Apple we're good. Let's see if I go through my.
Can we talk?
You guys, you get most of my trades. I emailed it to you guys yesterday. I actually emailed you the trade a little bit after. But you see what it was? Out of transparency.
I know. I like.
You know, we've closed a lot of trade very nicely. We've moved forward. We repaired a couple of items. As I said, S-Box was good. The one we missed really was Amazon. We underestimated the push up, and we did a calendar. Therefore, it blew up in our face. So we closed it for, I think, 40% loss and got out immediately. Because had we stayed there, tried to repair it, it would have been a very expensive repair. You can't repair really a calendar trade.
Okay, hey Fari, can I talk to you a little bit about Apple here? I mean, it had a big run up ahead of it. It had been in that consolidation, had the big run up here, and
Right.
I mean, they did everything right.
Right.
You know, the stock ended up down on the day here. Interesting levels in the pre-market, interesting levels on that
Sure.
rebound, the all-time high close.
Right,
You know,
right.
I mean, you know, they did everything right. They weren't rewarded.
Well, you
exactly.
follow me on Twitter. You remember this discussion I had this fellow yesterday, the shrimp. We have a shrimp every day, by the way. This is the ocean. The ocean gives you a shrimp every day. This guy was saying, exactly the same question, not as eloquently put as you, not as detailed as you were saying, well, he sounded like a long that was really hurting. He said, look, what does Apple got to do to go up a little bit here? I mean, they did everything right. What kind of business is this that they deliver so good and the stock is sold? Well, I sympathize with the guy. I'm long myself, okay? But I'm going to repair this thing if it's not performing I want. You know, the way I look at it is this. It's called order flow. We're paid to manage money of our own and others based on performance, okay, where we can survive and operate within whatever they throw at us. That includes what? Anticipating the unthinkable, like Amazon, managing cash management. Where is the losses enough? Where do you stop? Where do you say, hey, do I take it off at 30%? Do I take it? This is the options now. 30% at 60%. You know, what kind of trade is it? Is it earnings versus, timing model? Is it post-earning trade? So they got to tell us monkeys. Our job is to survive. Here, they're up nothing, 20 cents right now. Early on, at 136, again, on Apple, we had a nice spread. We added a second one on it, specifically for the EPS, because we had one prior coming into it. And on one of them, we're doing fine. On the other one, we have to repair it. It's not going to do fine because we're too aggressive. It was our lotto trade above it. So,
Fari, isn't the problem with Apple the fact that, you just said you own it? Everybody owns Apple. And
Yeah.
isn't the fact that
Sure.
it's doing everything right, But just because everybody owns the thing already, I mean, it's crowded. It's crowded to the long side. It's been crowded to the long side for a long time. So even if you look at it from a valuation perspective, it still looks cheap. I completely agree, and I think maybe it does eventually become a $1 trillion company, but it's got to be some type of a shakeout here eventually, I think, too. Because
I don't want to get too big. Wait a second. I don't want to really go too. Watch out. Here's the problem. The law of large numbers. The bigger you get, this is the problem Google is having. Okay, the bigger you get, except
bigger.
Apple's a little bit smarter. They had to split. I think what was it? I think Kyle Buzzy of your group. Kyle RT'd me. I said this was the last quarter. I said the best advice to Google is to have a stock split quickly.
They split it dumb.
Come down to around $100 type of thing, so you can still active. You can play it. And then you have a large distribution. You don't one huge person owns it. The law of large numbers said basically movement from here on is going to be docile. Either way. And look at the vols. Right now, Google has too much of a vol, and Apple has lost a lot of it. This is something Microsoft did years ago. If you think of Microsoft, one of the reasons Microsoft really did not lose value like Oracle. Oracle got smashed. If you go back 5, 10, 15 years,
45 to like $5 or something.
Exactly. Microsoft didn't do that. Now, why is that important? At Echo, which we sold later on to Intuit, I was head of a compensation committee. It is crucial for you to understand your top talent. How do you bring them in? How do you complement them with new people? And more importantly, how do you retain them? Stock appreciation rights, SARs, or stock option, warrants, warrants are long-term options. If you don't manage those rights, and especially if your market has a hiccup, these values, these rights are going to be undervalued. They're going to be underwater. Okay. Next thing you know, your best talent is going to walk out. In the high-tech companies, your assets are in tennis shoes. Those are the guys wearing tennis shoes. They walk out of the building every day. It's not the building. It's not the, cash in your accounts. It's your IQ. The IQ comes and goes. If you don't take care of your IQ, you're going to be left with nothing. So Google is going to do something, in my opinion. By the way, Reg FD, my niece that will be graduating next week with a 4.x GPA. She's in the second interview with Google.
Where does she go to school?
So I'm really excited about that.
Where does she go to school?
Montana at Bozeman, ski bum. What do you expect?
Okay, all right, Fari, maybe you can help me out. You talk about repairing a trade, and I'm getting smoked here. I mean, there's nothing I can do. I pretty much have written it off. Microsoft, okay? It has this.
But wait a second. That's part of recognition too, by the way. To realizing something is beyond help. Okay, you spilled milk. Move on. Go ahead.
I was pretty convinced here after earnings that it put a double top in here, right at the $48 level, $48.12, $48.16. That was where it was bumped up before the last earnings, and then some analyst comes out and says if they break up the company, it's worth $68. All right, and they take it up over 49. I mean. I'm smoked on my weeklies that I have. Should I take another stab here after it rallied another $1? Is this move sustainable in Microsoft?
Okay, hold on.
I mean, it must be out at I don't know how many Alpha Sigma. I'm sorry, Alpha Sigma.
Yeah. We're above 3. We're about to get to 3, my friend, right now in the daily. And we're at 2 Sigma weekly. It's very strong. It has a couple of very strong moves. Yeah, last 2 weeks. I suspect actually the biggest contribution to the upmarket is Microsoft. I submit that to you. Just simply from a number of shares they have in Qs. The percentage of the Qs they own on their NDX.
It's rotation too. I mean, money has been flowing from some of these leaders, the former leaders, into the laggards. And Microsoft was a laggard for a long time. IBM too. Check out the IBM chart in the last 2 weeks.
IBM is another one.
160 to 173.5. Yeah, some of the old school tech
IBM with a 2-leg on, and the 1 leg also always 1 leg wins. It did very nicely. The other one we missed. Then you come to repair it or let it go to 0 and grab it later. in the same direction. We can't. It's just still in the other direction going heavy. So, IBM too. IBM, first of all, IBM is more important to the Dow because of the digits, number of digits.
Right.
Yeah. Dow just have a different construct. Actually, I submit this to you. IBM is a little bit overextended on Microsoft. Microsoft, chart-wise, again, still chart-wise, says, I want to go a little bit higher. I don't think it looks like it's done yet.
50. 50 is
And remember, 53.97 to be exact.
Dennis,
is all-time high. You get into a 5x region. Remember, this stock hasn't been there.
Hey, Dennis, I'll give you 50. You give me 48 on this. I'll go for 11.
No, I'm saying resistance.
No, I see a 5x trading. I'm talking about 54.
No way.
Okay, well, maybe Mario will take the bet on this. I think it's going to run to resistance at 50.
Okay, Fari, it's trading at 40. We haven't done a soup bet in a while. Okay?
Oh,
that's true. That's true. Bravo, bro. I like the concept.
Okay, at $49, I will give you 53, and you give me 45 for some soup.
So you shooting for 54 first or 53 first?
You say 53. I say this is a long-term bet here. I say that it hits 45 before it hits 53.
You on?
Okay.
I'm not
we got a bet.
super uber convinced in it, but for the sake of camaraderie and a little super action, hey, why not?
All right. Fine.
I'm a player. I don't worry about it a little bit here and there. That's
yeah,
fine.
you're a lot easier than Dennis.
Well, I'm looking at also. This is the thing. This is like a 16-year all-time high, 15-year all-time high. Okay. And remember what they made a comment about. And I was there. By the way, I was there back then. Remember the commentary they made on the 5th year of what do you call it? NASDAQ, March 10th of 2005. CNBC ran a contest saying, this is Comedy Central, ran a contest saying, tell us what you were doing 5 years ago. Yeah, of course, I didn't say anything. And then LaRoche, I forgot her name, she called. She used to run the NASDAQ. Says, Fari, what's the story from you? What's the story from you? You tell me what you were doing 5 years ago. I said, Leslie, leave me alone, please. I'm going to trade. Come on. Leave me alone. She goes, come on. Just tell me just one to the bit. And I said, off the record? She goes, sure. So I gave her the story. 5 minutes later, it was repeated 4 times on CNBC from that point on, that day. That 7-digit account is gone, so is Julie, the blonde. So anyhow, I was there. I played it back then. I like to see it back there again, going back up. 54 is crucial, but 53.97. I'm telling you, over 50. Right now, the 2 sigma on the monthly, is sitting at 50.21. Okay, if it trades 50 and a quarter, that means it trades that one up. It's all set. It's all set to go up there. I don't know when, but I would say maybe a little pause and then pull up.
Okay.
Usually these changes are crucial. And what is happening here? Where is Microsoft getting the momentum? It's cloud. Who's the cloud guy over there? It's a new CEO. He's going to drive this up there. Okay. And never underestimate Microsoft. You know they have more programmers than the next 8 competitors combined.
Okay.
It's run by massive rows and rows and rows of programmers.
Okay.
And they're very vertical. They're every part of our e-commerce and data operations of small to big companies now. I mean, one of the biggest things they did was that to go multi CPUs and port it to large scale servers. That's why they're everywhere. Where it's audio, where it's database, where it's video, where it's email, where it's browsers, where it's servers. You name it, they're involved in every part of our lives. Microsoft is here to stay for a long time. Microsoft will never be a fad. It's not an Apple situation. They're not making a toy. You know what I'm saying? But their billing is a part of our lives. It'll never go away. Now, they mess up. They make mistakes. But the cash is so huge. And there's very little hardware. The margins are so heavy in terms of gross dollars. they're going to make a lot of mistakes until they get it right.
Okay, Fari Hamzei. All right, I'm buying the 50 calls. Fari Hamzei, founder of Hamzei Analytics, joins the show every Wednesday, bringing his wealth of knowledge on aggressive equity options and index futures trading. Fari, as always, great to have you on. Have a good week.
Always a pleasure, sir.
We'll talk to you again next week. Thanks, Fari.
Thank you.